Hey there everyone, Toby here, and today we're going to talk about John Mayer's right hand technique, more specifically when he's doing his blues stuff. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so if you're a very beginner to this sort of thing, one beginner simple concept I guess is skin, using the skin for your fingers. I've got fingernails, so it's not going to sound as cool, and I don't like fingernails with steel strings, but I mostly play acoustic nylon string guitar. But anyway, same concept applies. Thumb takes care of downstrokes, so you've got the flesh, and the finger takes care of the upstrokes. If you're doing things like the standard when you're doing this one, thumb, finger, thumb, finger. And so that's a straightforward thing to get used to, just thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger. So we're going to move on to the next thing. We're going to play it thumb and then slap. Thumb, slap, thumb, slap, thumb, slap, thumb, slap. So you got this snare drum sound on the 2 and the 4. Thumb, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, 2, thumb, 4. Okay, so what you want to do with this, you want to have a look at the right hand. When you play the thumb and you do the slap, your thumb generally wants to stay there when you, like wherever you finished your strum, and it stays. So what we want to try and do is when we do the slap, we reload the thumb so it's ready, rather than playing it, then searching for it, then playing it. I mean, to be honest, I think I do both. I don't really think too much about this hand unless I'm writing something new and it's difficult. So my hand hopefully just does what it's supposed to get the sound that I want. Anyway, so you've got this first kind of groove. What we want to do next is incorporate the first finger. So what we can do with that, we can start moving around this note, and you can hear on the way I just played it, I did a percussive thing rather than another note. You can use a note if I do. Yeah, it depends what you're doing with this hand. So the next step, oh hang on, before I go on, if you're doing a double with the finger, so for instance, that bit, da, 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 you don't necessarily want to pluck and slap and pluck and slap, because then you get two snare sounds. It can be used, no problem, but I guess I would use that more as an accenting kind of thing. See if you get what I'm talking about. If we look at my hand, we want to go, can't even do it. If I do it like this, I get the boom, chat, 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 which I don't want. So we leave the thumb down and do 2 plucks with the finger. I'm getting caught on my nail, so sorry about that. It's not sounding great. So after the, you can move around the bass notes. See if you can do, like, here's one. That wasn't it. So you can dig in with the thumb. That can be muted as well. It's whatever you're doing down here, you want to try and get the funk on. And ghost notes, like drummers, snare drum, they're not just going boom clack, boom clack, boom clack. They're going boom clack, doom da, boom clack. all that stuff. So that's kind of the way I think about this as a percussive thing. So you could think of this like the bass drum. Bloody hell. Anyway, so the next thing, incorporating the other fingers. So what we're going to do, we can do the same sort of idea. And when you start incorporating fingers, it does get more complicated because you're starting to play chords. So this can be where a bigger part of the challenge begins. But if you're starting to incorporate multiple things, try not to neglect, say, the bass line. Things like if I'm doing this, how long do I actually want this first one to ring out? Like, is it a bop, bop, or bop, bop? So the more notes you start playing, try not to forget what's going on, and the more parts you start playing, try not to neglect the other ones. And the most important thing is the groove. The thing with, specifically talking about John Mayer, so he's got a wicked groove. He's like, when he's in his, he plays the guitar in general, he just jumps into a groove. Anyway, so onto the fingers. You've got the typical ideas in the this position where we're hanging out. So what are we doing? Here we go. So if I'm going to add in that idea. You hear there? I held on to that note, going back into the next bar because that sounds cool. So what I'm basically doing is chucking in the chord thing, which is coming from the 3 fingers, plucking the 2, 3, and 4th string, doing the hammer on, then getting back to the bass line. Then the second one was, and I do believe I delayed the bass line after that, so yeah, you can either skip that note the next time if you're using, or hopefully you're understanding what's going on. But the idea is to get your funk on with this hand. So that's kind of how I kind of break it down into thumb idea, percussive or upstrokey thumb thing, and then chordally. So I'm just going to go through a few little exercises to help you out with that kind of stuff. Firstly, you can do thumb finger. Just play scales or whatever. With the thumb and the finger, always. Electric strings. So then the next level, with using the fingers, the arpeggio side of things, you've essentially, the standard one, you've got thumb and fingers together. So I'm playing an A minor, A minor 7. So you can do thumb and fingers together, thumb and fingers, fingers then thumb. Then you can break up, generally sounds very good to do the thumb first and then change the order of these, so you can have, like, if I go thumb 1 2 3, thumb 3 2 1, thumb 1 3 2, thumb 3 1 2, and this can be in parts like that little bit at the end of something if you've done. Don't know what I'm doing, but that's what I'm talking about. So getting the arpeggios maybe doing thumb one and these two together, thumb that and these two together. It all depends on what's going on down here and the sound you're going for. But that's kind of the idea. Getting used to this. If we go back to the original idea, add in double bass line notes. I can't talk and play. Experiment, but that's kind of I guess the way I would approach it from the beginning. Independence, the other thing, like John Mayer's got pretty sweet independence between his thumb and his other fingers doing bass lines while improvising crazy stuff at the same time. But this is all practice. It takes a long time. Once we get comfortable, like just sitting on a groove, don't try and rush too much stuff. But once we sit on a groove, yeah, you can, it's a little bit easier once this hand's loosened up. But there is a few techniques to get comfortable with first. So as far as what else to do with it, I guess a little extra bit of the lesson would be finding like licks and stuff, figuring out how to play your licks with thumb and fingers. And once again, I don't play like this, so I'm going to be spitting on my guitar, apparently. Doing double stops is cool with the fingers. But trying to get this comfort zone with finger or thumb, which one do you use? Yeah, so muck around with that, trying to get your licks down. What else? You can change position to get different chord, like whatever, just use it and abuse it. I think that's covering what I mainly wanted to go on about in this lesson. Let me check my little notes here. I think I got everything I wanted to get done in that lesson. Maybe I'll do some more research and I will do a number 2, or let me know in the I'm going to do a number 2 on video next time. God. Now I've lost my train of thought. Let me know in the comments if there's specific things, but this was just the first one. There's a lot more stuff that's going on with finger playing, or finger style. Oh Jesus, got more coffee. I'll have coffee in the next one. Thanks for that. I'll talk to you later. Cheers.